Okay, so in the last video, you guys watched us go down to Savannah, Georgia and pick up this WildFire XLT 4-post lift right here. We didn't have to go pick it up. We could have had it delivered, but it was kind of, that's no fun just getting it delivered. So we went down and picked it up, rented a trailer, stuff. And today, we are hopefully going to assemble this. So we've got it laid out. We've got to flip like 2 of these posts, I think. But this is pretty much how it's going to slide together and stand up. So we've been watching videos. We got it laid out last weekend. I went back to college while my dad had the fun task of getting all the bubble wrap and shrink wrap off of stuff. I'm sure that took about 14 days to do, because everything here was really nicely packaged. But that also means you have to unpackage it. So today we should be able to get this thing together and then get that car on the lift. Because just in case something happens, that car will hurt a whole lot less than other vehicles we got. It's, it kind of tips over for some reason. I don't know why it would, but I'm just thinking that's the guinea pig for this thing. Where are we going to? Fifth one up, I believe. Alright. Hold on, I got a count. Huh? I got a count. You got a count? Is that? Did you say you can't count? I said I got it. No. I see it sliding. Like it is right now. I guess like that. Dragon. Yeah. This is a cable safety, so when this doesn't, I guess like detect tension on your cable, this will slide in for extra lock. And there's a whole lot of play in that for what that is. The only reason I'm pointing that out is because in the research, WildFire did this whole huge video about how they had a bearing issue, and then they supposedly fixed by upgrading all their bearings. And I know they was probably talking about the bigger bearings, but that's terrible. I don't know. I'm sure what they were talking about is these, like the bigger bearings. These feel fine. But these, yeah, that's just a lot of play in that for what it is supposed to be doing.
It's off the floor, huh?
I know, but every little movement you do is dragging this corner.
in right now.
You know it's a good crush washer when you can crush it with your fingers.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, how does that come out?
Oh. Oh. It's easier when you also pull. Get the camera.
They actually moved it to a better spot.
Pull the piston out while we need to.
Right?
Yep.
I did this when he was working on that. This is a new addition, that's why it's not in the book yet. You can tell it's kind of a new addition because each one of these holes is in a slightly different area. By the way, this just keeps the cable in. It's a good idea. You're just using a bolt and a jam nut. Issue is the bolt that they give you and then the threads that they thread in there are completely wrong. So when you go to tighten this jam nut, it just tries to pull the threads out. So I guess just tighten that up until it tries to pull it out and then don't take it back out.
See if this ain't right.
What?
Is there supposed to be a lock washer behind that one?
I don't know. Where's it supposed to be?
Behind this right here.
Oh, to space it out more because it's hitting.
See, it's in the bind.
It's hitting that.
Yeah, it's in the bind.
And we ain't took that off, have we?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Well, I put one on.
Unless this is supposed to be spaced out more.
Mm-mm. No, that's the purpose of this spacer here.
Okay. So that's wrong too.
Well,
Well, it's missing one.
Yeah.
It ain't wrong. It is wrong because it's missing one.
we'll just put one.
But it ain't wrong.
We'll put one on.
There's a lot of opportunities in this to be having a missing washer.
Well,
It's big.
yeah.
The little Chinese men over there, the little Chinese men or kids over there building this thing do the best they can. Sometimes they get stuff wrong. Now that's not hitting that. Let's put this on.
You need to leave room to put you a couple of big washers. What you do this to make it line up. Are we ready?
Yep. Just drinking the fluid, which is should. There it goes. There she goes. Yep. Gunshot. We ever tighten these up? Nope.
No, I'm gonna verify the adjustment and all on them before we do.
I guess, yeah. Well, there's pretty beefy springs on every single one of these. Yep. Really?
Too far down.
Is it lifting? I guess it is.
She's up.
That's impressive.
My Wheaties has run out. Ooh, in the light. Yeah.
Uh-uh. You ready to say your goodbyes to this car if something happens? I trust
I
it.
trust it. I do think we'll do this.
Take the ramps off.
Here goes nothing. Been nice knowing you, Monty.
The lights flickered.
Sure, when I got that fan down.
Yeah. Why does that rattle so much?
There we go. Get that fan all down and raise it up a little higher if we wanted to.
Who's walking under it first?
I ain't scared of it.
I ain't never had one of these before.
We
Well,
put it together. It's got to be good.
I ain't surprised.
It needs to go up another notch.
Another one?
Yeah.
That moves downwards a lot faster with the car on it.
Yep.
Yeah, we might address this now that we can get to it. Probably not.
The dirt dog.
Yeah, that's structural.
Is it like glue?
Huh. Oh, there's more.
Oh, they everywhere under there.
Huh. You can see the floor pans I need to come back and do some more attention to. Yeah, it leaks. You can tell. Okay, so it's been a few weeks, probably close to 2 months now since we've set this up. And here's just a little reflection, I guess, of this thing. So this is the WildFire XLT, 9,000 pounds, I guess. You see the Monte Carlo sitting up there. This thing is awesome. You know, like if I was, for instance, a while ago, I was doing some paint work on my brown 81C10 up there. Instead of, you know, putting it right here and bending over, I put it on the lift and raised it up, and it's great. So we like this obviously a whole lot. I think it's definitely worth the money. The installation and assembly was super easy. That went about 10 times better than I thought it would. Yeah, like we did it in an afternoon pretty much. You know, just being able to get underneath this car and just look at stuff is fantastic. I've got a transmission on that 81 up there that has always been leaking, and I might fix it now. You know, probably not, but I might fix it because just of how easy this is to get to now, which is going to be good because this thing's going to need a transmission. We exploded something on that trip to the beach. If you didn't watch that, and if you're interested, this is our 73 Monte Carlo that we took to Myrtle Beach for Run to the Sun, and it was kind of, that's a big car show down there. It was kind of shifting and funny all weekend, like it would hesitate to go in the gear and then it would just slam into gear. Well, on the way home, it slammed into gear one last time and something went. It still shifts, you know, relatively fine, about 60% of the time. So we did get it home, just it's not happy. So that's gonna have to come out. And this lift is gonna make that a whole lot easier. Okay, so there's two things that we weren't crazy about on this. Number one is I actually showed you guys this when we was installing it. This bearing right here, you know, all four of them. All that does is just ride up and down the thing, and there's tension on it. So it's getting used. That bearing just has a lot of slop in it, and all of them are like that. And you can watch this thing going up and down. I'm not going to show you because I got to get ready to go back to college this week. It's not that great. Just all of them are like that, and that doesn't inspire great confidence because this is one of your locks. This is one of your safeties. I mean, you know, it's not that big of a deal, I guess. But when you're raising it up, you can kind of just see the whole pulley doing that, which, you know, isn't the most confidence inspiring. Which I think I said that when we was installing it. And number two, these little pinch covers or whatever, they feel like crap. About all of them went on like this, where a hole just didn't line up. And I think all of them, except for this one, we was able to get an adjustable. You can see where we got it and try to bend it that way, but this just wouldn't do it. So that didn't fit the greatest. Again, this is all kind of being picky, but like for $7,000, and I'm not saying like this is the most expensive, like there's obviously more expensive, but $7,000 is a lot of money to the average person. And I feel like for that price, you kind of have to be picky. But that is just me being picky. Oh, there is three things actually. This was in this is a new addition because it wasn't in the instructions. They just had like a little piece of paper thrown in there, which is fine. I want to see like new additions come out with like adjustments and stuff. This is what that is. So all this is, I think, is explained just to keep this cable on there. I'm thinking just for installation. So you thread this bolt in and use this as a jam nut. The only issue with that is that this bolt and the hole that they threaded or tapped for the bolt to go into, two different threads. So tapping that in there, it goes in crooked as everything. And then when you try to use this as a jam nut, the slightest amount of force just pulls this bolt back out. And you got one on all four corners, and they all did that. So that's three kind of picky things that I wasn't crazy about. And I'm not saying all this just to like dog on the company. I'm just saying like, hey, this is something you might want to address in the future. Because you can't really expect the company to fix stuff if they don't know what to fix. So that's what feedback from the customer is about. So that's going to be it for this. So in these two little videos, they were going to be back to back, but I had to stagger it because, well, I forgot to record what you're watching right now last week. So, you just watched us go down to Savannah, Georgia to pick this up. We didn't have to go pick it up. We could have had it delivered, but, what's the fun in that? Get a road trip out of it. And you just watched us install it and have some little final thoughts. So, in the future on this channel, I'm obviously going to be using this a lot. Like, for example, we just redid the seats in this 73 Monte Carlo, and we laid this like to right here, and that was like a $7,000 workbench. That was actually pretty nice. Oops. Okay, I gotta be out of here by 8:45, and it's currently 8:46. So I was kind of on the fence about this whole thing to begin with. I was thinking, man, that's just going to take up a whole lot of room. The lift is what I'm talking about. And it does in theory, but I can tell you that it saves you more room than it takes up. Like right now with this, as far as it can go up in there with a car on it, at least, you have a 12 by 12 section that is, taking up ground space. That is it. Like, I'm going to put you like eye level. So my head's going to hit that, but like, I don't have to walk around the vehicle to go to like our spray bottles over there. I can go under it. And I was, pulling the seat out of my 81 C10 right here, and And if this car wasn't on the lift, I would, you know, had to put the seat somewhere else. But, you know, where I didn't need it, I just put it under there and oil dripped on it. But, you know, it definitely saves you more room than, you know, it takes up, which is awesome. So yeah, obviously we like this thing. And, you know, I would recommend buying it. It's super nice. I don't know why we went this long without one. See, right there, I'm going to turn the light off and I just walked under it. That's nice. So I'm going to turn the light off because I've got a 2-hour drive to get back to college in a 88 Bronco 2 that can't go the speed limit. So it takes me about 2.5 hours, and class is in about an hour 45. So, and it's raining and I haven't even packed. Plus that GMC needs to come in here. So I'm going to end this video, and thanks for watching.